Oh, I'm Morey White.
I'm Bob Nelson.
I'm Tracey White.
I'm Pastor Johnny Leckie, and this is what is this thing called? Oh, the Compass Conversation Podcast.
That thing we do on
Taking your coffee away.
Yeah.
Oh my.
I almost administered your backpack as well.
We will follow you. You have the name above every name. We will follow you, King Jesus.
And
The night is young.
we are back.
We're back.
We're back and better than ever.
Remember this spill? It happened when?
Every stain tells a story.
That's right. This was podcast number 37. No.
Johnny, what do you see when you look into that?
Oh, no. Do not
Rorschach.
psychoanalyze my coffee stains.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
They are random.
All right.
Unless they're like the Umum.
Well, hello.
Cast our lots.
Hello.
Hello.
That's my
Hello.
coffee.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Good to see you guys. It's Monday.
That is the truth.
All right.
It is Monday.
Well, how's everybody doing? We'll start over here with you, Tracy. How you doing?
I am, let me see, still thinking about putting a wireless router so we can use the iPad to do the switching. Busy day. I mean, it's one of those days that you start and even though the clock, and I've said this before, the clock is right there on the computer monitor. You just don't really pay attention to it.
Wow.
And then you look at it and you're finally like, oh, wow, I should have left work half an hour ago, you know. So that was today, and I think the rest of the week's going to be like that. But yeah, good and busy. So yeah.
Excellent.
What about you?
You're round up. I was about to say, this is one of those days for me where I kept looking at the clock because it kept dragging on. So back to the school, job 2, right? And but no kids or anything. It's just all the prep work. And I know you guys don't know a whole lot about what happens there, but it's a lot of cutting and putting things together and just kind of simple, mindless, which I need on a Monday. Work for a while, I can just shift into neutral and say, "Oh, I'm not the teacher. I don't have to plan anything.
Yeah.
Just tell me where you want me to be." But it was dragging on, and I did. It's all right.
Those are the days that are hard to make it through.
Yeah, but it's sort of our first day back. Leona's at the school. That's a new thing for me. So I'm like walking through the hall, going in, hey. We're having lunch together there. So that was kind of cool. Nice. It's very weird being at the same school. That's never been a thing. And then, so we also thought through today, and the schedule today, and that involved me coming home about a little before 3. Mm-hmm. Had time to run.
Good for you.
Ooh.
It was more of a plod, but
Whatever works.
it was hot.
Yeah.
Took a shower, had a meeting with Bob. Here I am with you guys.
Right on.
Nice.
So as soon as I get home, when we're done, tonight is taco night. I know it's Monday. We're having
Taco Monday.
hot dogs.
Tacos or hot dogs?
Wait, no, not hot dogs. Hot dog taco.
Yeah, I was just thinking, it's probably a good thing you like her a little bit.
Can you?
It's just getting started this year. We'll see what happens.
There we go.
I mean, you bought those?
Well, I
little
can
bit.
still use the
Cameras?
front one.
You can. Do you want to be on the front?
Yeah,
one?
we'll be on the
I
front
want
one.
to know about your day, bro.
You want to know about my day? Very productive at work. I've been a little under the weather all weekend, so I'm still. I think I got what you had.
It's lingering. I mean, there's no fever or anything.
No fever.
It's not COVID related.
Little stomach issue and just feeling.
Have you read the thing, the package that came in? It clearly will stay. Every one of them has to because it's true. This does not prevent you from getting sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not the purpose of that.
I know.
This is not.
Yeah. Anyway. Sorry.
Yeah, so Sunday we were talking about I need one of those with a straw.
Yeah.
Because I like coffee. And then things happened today in a situation I did not handle correctly. I feel bad about that, but it will get resolved. So that kind of made me show up in a less than super happy mood. But I got to vent with my brother, and so that was good.
It's understandable. Good. And sometimes when things don't go optimally, it's often not a one-person thing. It's a reaction and then a reaction to a reaction and, stuff like that. So, yeah.
You said optimally.
I
I thought you said optimally.
No, optimally.
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 Like Monopoly, but
Like Monopoly, but with
Totally different.
The mine.
Well, I'm glad to see you, friend. Glad you're here.
I'm glad to be here.
I'm glad you're here.
And I almost thought, I thought about calling you guys and saying, hey, I'm going to rest tonight. And then I thought, man, we talked about some really cool stuff on Sunday, so I got to be here because you talked about a verse I've never heard before. So
John 3:16.
John 3:16.
And 18. And 19.
Not you did. You kept going, and it was awesome. So, okay.
Bob, how are you doing?
So I had plans. I wasn't going to be here because I was going to help my in-laws with something. They canceled, so I took today off anyway and just
right,
kind
I
of
do
relaxed, and it was nice.
What's that like?
Well, it's
Tell us,
relaxing.
Bob.
Relaxing did involve a 10K, so I had a bull snake.
Oh, that's right. He posted that picture of that.
Yep. But I love it. Where I run, it's really nice. It's super pretty. Running next to the Great Plains Conservatory, and when on the path there was this huge, not really huge. He's only about 2.5 foot long bull snake, just kind of like making his way across and whatnot.
Still huge
so
to me.
yeah, they can get up to 10 feet. How's
Yeah,
that?
well,
That would be
That would be
Extreme.
nightmarish.
bigger than huge.
When we were a kid, I remember my dad chasing off a big snake. But to me, at that age, which would have been first grade, I guess, kindergarten or first grade, we lived in the middle of an orchard. It was awesome.
yeah.
So he chased that snake back into the orchard, but to me it was like 30 foot long. It was the biggest snake in the world.
Down in the Rio Grande Valley, it might have been a python,
Good grief.
You never know.
So, but yeah, it was a good relaxing day. I had the exact opposite day you had, so that was I'm okay with that.
Bringing great balance around the table.
Well, I like being busy because it makes the day
It
go
does.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then the next day
It was a day
comes.
off, so I didn't want the day to go fast.
That's a good point.
Let's see.
Well, good.
I need to move my camera switcher screen or just get one of the little mini things and put here. That would have been nice.
Yeah, we'll move things for next time.
I'm not that smart.
Don't
Let's
even,
move things.
don't
for
even
next time.
acknowledge it. Just
I'm
kind
not
of glance
that
over to it. Nobody will ever know.
No one will know.
I'll edit this out.
Yeah. Every time I look back at the screen over there.
Yeah, every time.
You can see that screen, I think, in this camera here. Yeah, so it's that screen right there, and that's what I'm using to switch the
Getting a little meta here. Okay, so
What
Inception.
do y'all think of this?
This is behind the curtain.
behind the curtain's curtain.
This little bitty bottle's kind of freaking me out.
It's a normal size bottle. What are you talking about? What?
That reminds
What do
me
you
of
mean? What?
an episode of The Office that we watched where he gets his espresso machine, right? He calls it espresso. And it's got the little tiny cup, and he says, "Oh, I think I'm growing. Look how tiny the cup is."
I should really become an Office fan, but
It's hard to get into.
the CPR one, that was my favorite. 'Cause
Oh my
I used to teach CPR.
Oh, now see, I gotta watch it now. At least
That is a funny episode.
It is.
All right. Well, here we are,
Here we are.
wandering way into the weeds.
Like 8 minutes in, and
Just like that bull snake.
Yeah, exactly. Just like the bull
We
snake.
did mention John 3:16.
But that's true.
17, 18, 19, and 20.
Well, not 20. But
Oh, you did do 20?
I don't think so. Went to 19.
no. On the look, I'm trying to phone and speak at the same time, but on the yesterday's recording or stream of the service, at the beginning my phone went off.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Which is what I have. That's the tone that I have set for my Bible app, right? And so it was telling me the verse of the day is going to be different today, but I mentioned this to you.
Right,
It was,
yeah, very
Joshua
cool.
24, verse 15. I'm going to read it because I know what struck me about it is that it's not necessarily exactly what we're talking about, as far as worship as a verb and stuff like that. But more in the fact that it's an Old Testament thing and it is about worship.
Yeah.
And so it's a concept that's been there from the very beginning, right? But it says, but if it doesn't please you to worship the Lord, choose for yourselves today, which will you worship? The gods of your your ancestors worshipped beyond the Euphrates River, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land you're living? As for me and my family, we will worship the Lord.
Yep.
So,
Amen.
that's great. And there's in context, there's more to it, but I just thought that was neat how even way back then it was really that whole worship thing was as big of a deal as it is today. So
And it was the whole lifestyle thing. It was an action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny when I've heard that preached on before. It's just about following the Lord. They don't really focus on the worship too much. So, and it's there is that sense that if you're worshiping the Lord, you're following the Lord. The worship comes first. And with what Joshua is saying,
yeah,
it's a little bit interesting, very verby.
the other thing that
very verby.
the other thing that stuck out about that
I can do these things.
was basically to me, what I kind of caught from it was Joshua saying, well, are you going to worship the Lord or not? Because if you're not, you got to pick something else because everybody is going to bow down to something, right? You're going to worship something, whether it's money or earthly pleasures or yourself, which is probably one of the big things, today. But he was like, but for me, me and my family, we're worshiping. That's the winner.
I like that.
What?
Darn tootin'.
Sorry.
You worship the Lord? Sure.
Well, that's it. I'm out.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching the podcast tonight. Oh my, that's awesome though. I thought that was kind of cool time.
Yeah,
You got into a lot of why we would choose to worship God, and then you started breaking down John 3:16, and you put it in context by continuing on a little bit. But I mean, you could break down that verse and start to understand that the love that God had, and it is the mercy that He gave us because of that love, cost Him.
Yeah,
it cost God to do that. So mercy cost. That's something you said that really struck me. Yeah. I've always looked at it as, the love side of it and loving somebody so much that you would sacrifice something so great. But it truly is because, well, you're not good enough. This is the only way.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only way that you're ever going to even come close.
Yes.
So,
that's good, Morey.
Yeah, so the mercy was because of the great love.
Yeah. Well, and the other side of that was that the sacrifice was made, and the mercy shown to us in our imperfections, like everybody's imperfections. It's like, I love you, and it's unconditional. I know you're probably messing up and everything, but you know what? It's okay. It's okay. I love you so much.
That it cost. I'm willing to pay a price.
Yeah.
Yes, God demonstrated His love for us in that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. He didn't wait for us to get cleaned up or get, present ourselves. It was while we were in the middle of our sin. He still, that's amazing love. It's demonstrated in that way. But
then there's an action side. There's a verb.
Yeah.
On the other side that you have to do.
He takes us where we're at, but He doesn't want us to stay there.
Well, right.
I had that same conversation today with my friend. I hope you're watching, man.
Wait, let me get on that camera.
What's up, Lewis?
Point again. There you go.
Dude.
Yeah, you're on.
Dude. Hey, Lewis, you got to say hi to Lewis.
Hi, Lewis.
All right, I'm going to tell him tomorrow. If you didn't watch it, you should have. But we were talking about that even today.
Yeah.
That whole idea that God, and I know I say it all the time, but it's just so true. And it's so important that our culture understands that idea too. Because so many of us, we come with our own agenda to God.
Yeah.
You know, accept me as I am, take me as I am, and this is who I am. If this is not it, then forget you. And God loves us so much. He will meet us in the middle of the worst mess.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do that He will not meet us in the middle of that mess. But He doesn't want us to stay in the mess.
Right.
He loves us more than that. He wants us to become more and more like His Son, like Him.
Yeah.
So, dig it.
And we're done. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I mean,
Drop the mic.
that was kind of it. So,
You know what was really cool is you use both sides of the whiteboard and
Flipped back.
had a diagram, an illustration. So that's like the bonus there. So I was really impressed.
Well, you were
I
there.
was a little worried that you weren't going to finish filling out the right side.
I
But you
caught
flipped
that
it back
from
around.
you.
He flipped
Yeah,
it back around. See, that's so.
that was the deal. Why
did the whole
Why would you
three-side
turn it
thing.
over if you're not done?
Right, yeah. Well, because there was a big illustration. It was great. I did enjoy that. So.
Yeah, and then we came back around. I knew you were going to be there, and so I just felt like we would just use the heck out of the whiteboard.
Well, wait until he has to use like 3 or 4 of them.
I was going to say, the bar is set now.
How
and
hilarious.
the only way you can get any better is to have more than one whiteboard.
All right, so here's the thing. Okay, so don't give me ideas because what I use as a whiteboard isn't even really technically a whiteboard.
Well, yeah.
It's a sign that
Yeah.
we got from an old church plant,
Yeah.
right? From somebody else that their church plant didn't make it. Signs.
So you just picked up their sign off the side of the road?
Well, no. But you flip them around, that would have been terrible. We stole some church signs.
Don't tell them.
Still looking for them.
Yeah, but they had money in their church.
Anyway, no, they didn't. That's why they went belly up.
Ouch.
Why are we on this? I love them. Here's the deal. They live through us. No, but you turn that up, inside out. It's like, oh, this works perfectly. And I tested it with dry erase. Oh, this is perfect.
Oh.
The thing is, I have like 7 of those.
Really?
So don't get me started. How funny that would be. We do this one, we turn it over, this one, I set it down, we pull up another one.
Then he breaks it out.
I'm looking for
From a
it.
Keep bringing them in,
spot.
3, 4. Maybe I'll just line them up and start drawing from one to the other.
Right.
Oh, it's all
like
right.
it.
We'll need to bring in, some folks that like, how about with the Vanna White style?
Yeah, yeah, somebody said,
Are you
turn them around.
volunteering for that?
yeah, that'll be your first duty.
There we go.
Yeah.
First ministerial duty.
Bob Vanna White.
Funny.
Just sign changer.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, well. Well, hey, I will tell you this. There were 2 things you guys made me think of, and then we moved from one to the other.
Oh.
I've forgotten them now. Oh, well.
They'll come back.
It's all good. We're not on a script. But I will say about that very thing of serving. I can't remember if I told you guys this or not, but I had a professor in seminary, and he had gotten his bachelor's degree, he got his master's degree, and now he got his doctorate. And he was literally, it was like his first time to serve in church, on church staff, and he was the youth pastor. And his very first job on Monday, after the staff meeting, he's like, man, finally I have this position of ministry. His assigned duty was to go to the church van and clean up the vomit from the kids. It's like, okay, welcome to ministry, friend.
Sometimes you gotta pick up the vomit.
Yeah, you gotta be willing to serve.
We spent a lot
Not
of
really sure
time in
what
church
that
vans.
Yeah.
Why I told that, but
Growing up. Buses and vans.
Can't tell stories.
Wheels on the bus go round.
while we were yet sinners,
Yeah, we did.
God demonstrated His love for us.
When we were younger, we did joy bus stuff.
We did, yeah.
With the go pick up the kids
Oh
and
yeah,
I
sure.
led
A lot of
singing
kids
and
do.
that kind of thing.
Well,
The joy bus.
Joy bus.
that's funny. There used to be those church
Church
buses, and they'd
Christ
have
thing.
puppets and things on the side. But it almost makes you think, it's like, it's kind of creepy in a way. It was like, come on, little kitties. Get on the bus.
Oh, no.
It's like the child catcher from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
There was one time though that this dog was chasing the bus and went ruff, 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 smack into a tree. We all laughed for a long time.
That's the joy. There's the joy.
There's
from
the joy.
There's joy in the joy bus. Came out of Coke.
Man.
The wheels
From
on
that
the bus
tiny
go
bottle.
round, round, round.
We are not sponsored by
Dog next
Coke.
to the bus go.
But if you'd like to, with a smile, Johnny at compassdenver.com.
I think we should sponsor water.
And water, yeah. You know, I need to get another cup, I think. So we were talking about
We were.
Monday night podcast recording. What were we talking about? Who remembers?
We were talking
We
about
usually talk about Sunday.
Question number 7.
Oh, that's right. There was a question number 7.
Yes.
Is your worship fresh,
Fresh
and
and
vibrant?
vibrant.
Fresh
There
and
you go.
vibrant.
That's right. Extra star for you, Bob.
You got a star?
You got a gold star.
Yeah, but Tracy did
lost tires.
Oh, yeah, he did lose
He
stars.
lost stars on Sunday.
You had stars.
He built up 3 or 4, and then they're at the end.
Wait, how did I lose them again?
I can't remember.
You're making fun of him. Sometimes.
Yeah, so in some way, that's always a star loser.
Yeah, but I don't even. Sometimes I just do things that I don't recognize I'm doing. You'll just have to forget
you
it.
always get them right.
Did I really do something? Did
It's
I
the
make-
Oh,
age.
nothing
Was it about the
important.
whiteboard?
Nothing important.
Was it the
It's just
whiteboard?
goofy. It was just being silly.
I'm trying to think of what do I pick on preachers for?
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Age?
We need to go back and read
Sure,
the story.
He just had his birthday.
He did just.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh,
Hey,
losing
that-
my mind or something like that.
Oh, but that, that should have been an extra gold star because,
because you remembered, and then you immediately canceled it out. That was great, though. Man.
I tried.
I appreciated it. We can read the story about the the prophet in the Old Testament who called down the two
Hasten
she-bearers
land
onto the
free.
youth because they were making fun of a small kid. That's philosophy of youth ministry right there.
Wait, Bob's the young one here. So,
It's true.
That's true. The Bears will get you.
Still on this side of 50, so
There you go.
what?
not for long.
Yeah, barely.
Well, all right, guys. Was there anything else about Sunday? I know I did mention, the little thing about the book of Romans and how it kind of divides.
True.
Yeah.
Hinges on
What's the there?
The wages of sin.
What's the
Therefore,
therefore? That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. That is a fascinating thing, really, because it's like, no, really? Does it really? Well, yeah, it kind of does. If you go back to
Yeah.
Romans 1, 2, 3, 4, he's talking all about what God has done for us and what Christ has done for us on the cross and all of those things. So therefore,
Because
Because of all of that.
in view of the mercy of God, I just spent all these chapters talking about.
Yeah.
Present your bodies a living sacrifice,
Yeah.
holy and acceptable to God. This is your spiritual act of worship, or this is your reasonable act of service or,
Yeah.
or worship. It's pretty awesome. And then from there, he talks about how we live now. So it's kind of cool little fun fact I want to share about.
I just still like, again, the thing out of Joshua, everything out of Romans, everything out of the Bible, it is still so relevant, especially in times like this where
Yes.
where there's
Oh, yeah.
things going on that is just kind of throwing everybody's groove off and that kind of thing. But it's all still relevant. I was asked once, and did I? I don't know if I brought this up or not. I don't think so. This was an Air Force question that the command chief of the 22nd Air Force asked me. She said, Chief White, if you had a magic wand, we were talking about diversity and inclusion in the Air Force, what policy would you change to improve diversity and inclusion? And I thought about it for a second. I said, well, Chief, I wouldn't change any policy. I think the policy is good, right? What I would... If I had a magic wand, I'd change hearts, right? So
Yeah.
that's the big thing is hearts.
Yep.
And so I think about that today. If everybody had a heart for other people, this world would be such a wonderful, beautiful place.
Exactly true.
If we could get rid of the ugliness of it by changing hearts. I wish we had a magic wand. We actually do. It's Jesus, right?
the word, yeah.
If people would accept the magic wand, that's probably not right to say. There is an answer. I'm
There
just
is
saying.
an answer.
So,
Well, there's
Harry Potter salvation is hardest.
oh man.
And I'm pretty sure lightning's striking any moment now.
It's going to be marred on your forehead.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, brother.
But you know, so
Bob
many,
Potter.
You're right. You're right.
so many people are empty because they worship things that are empty.
Yes.
Well,
You
sure,
know,
yeah.
money is empty.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is a representation of nothing. You know, there's a lot of false gods out there that are just so empty. And until people accept the only one that gave us the gift,
Yeah.
the only one that gave us the gift. I mean, there's so many people, different religions and stuff out there that you have to do. You know, well,
Do this, do this, do this.
yeah, do this and do this
And
to get to this point.
Clear the Thetans.
Yeah, where, you know,
that what they're called?
with Christianity, God gave it to us just freely.
Yeah. Expensive, but free to us.
Yeah, it was expensive.
Expensive cost.
It was an expensive.
Free for us to accept. I mean, you know, like you said,
gotta
you don't
accept
stay where,
Right.
where God comes to meet you, you know.
Yeah.
You ask, and he's going to be right there with his hand out going, let's go, come on.
But that's the only way you can change hearts,
I know.
because everything else is empty.
It is. Even that whole self thing is pretty empty because you're worried about only the way that you think things should work. It's a very selfish approach, you know. And
It happened to me today.
Tends to still disappoint.
it does, because the person next to you is, if they're thinking the same thing and y'all aren't thinking exactly alike, then you're going to be highly disappointed in each other.
That's right. Well, the wonderful thing about that whole idea of if I could change hearts, is that big giant portion of what church is supposed to be about is that very thing, is helping people to connect with God, to meet Christ, and to have a heart change.
Yeah.
And in that regard, it always starts with us, you know, and how we. What if every church, let's bring it down instead of everyone with the mega one, what if every church truly had a heart for people that even weren't a part of their church yet, who don't know Christ? What would we be willing to do without? What would we be willing to, how would we do our resources differently if our passion was about seeing other people know the joy that we have and become followers? So that's cool, though. That is cool, because that is the answer. It's the heart change, and we have that message we can share with the world.
Well,
Very cool.
Church of the Curb, Bob was talking about.
Did we have? That's right. That's the first time we've had Morey.
I
That's
know.
the first time we've had Church of the Curb.
Church after church.
And we were in a hurry. We had to shut it down.
Yeah, there are some good discussions coming up.
We had some great discussions, but Bob was talking about, why don't we see it the same way as that story you were telling about the native people
Yes,
that were seeing a video of
A film for the first time.
film
Yes.
for the first time, but then about Jesus and what he went through in his life, and why don't we react with that same outrage for the injustice and rejoice at the resurrection and the gift and the victory, and that just
I actually got a little teary-eyed during
You did.
the story.
Oh, yeah. That's
Almost
awesome.
made me cry.
No, Bob!
It was great because I got to. I was sitting
Love
there
it.
thinking about this and then thinking about just how passionate those guys got. Nearly beating up the projectionist.
Yes,
What
so
are you
great.
doing to us?
What is this? I love that part of it.
This guy was innocent. Why did they hurt him?
Yeah.
And then rejoicing and throwing a huge party afterwards when they realized Jesus is alive. He is risen.
Yes.
So we were missing out something in the Western Church a little bit with that.
Yes.
That is true.
And we need it back, And again, it's not about, I tried to communicate too that it's not just about, jumping up and down and, but the honest expression of our heart, man, we should just be like, yes, I get to sing praise to the one who saved my soul, who's forgiven me for all the junk and dirt, and man, he loves me anyway. I want to honor him. What's great about that story is that I've had it. That story I first read in Leadership magazine. Literally, I was almost reading it word for word to you guys Sunday. And that was probably back in the year 2000, 2001, maybe. I've had it that long. I've only used that illustration one other time, and it was that long ago.
Wow.
So I've had that because I just think, man, this is the perfect description of the heart of worship anyway.
Yes.
Right? So, yeah, I'm glad that resonated with everybody.
That was great.
It was a good way to wrap things up, too.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of wrapping things up,
Speaking of,
we're out of time.
Pretty much.
You guys, anything else you want to add about Sunday we may have missed before we go into our final words?
I'm thinking we're missing one full quote.
Yeah, we mentioned a verse earlier.
We did, and we
was
started the quote.
What was it, Morey?
It was John 3:16.
That's right.
Yes. And yeah, go back and watch the sermon because it adds a little more context to that amazing thing that happened. Yeah, go read that.
What is it? For God so loved.
He
world.
loved the world that he gave his only son, that whoever believes in him will not perish but have eternal life.
Yeah.
And that's big.
That's
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Hey,
I'm
what
working on being immortal. Just like I'm going to be immortal
it was
after I
fun
Saved our
die.
lives.
to see Taylor mentioned Dad must be loving today. He's talking about his favorite verse.
Did she say that?
Yeah, in the comments. It's awesome. Well, all right, guys. Well, we'll go ahead and just wrap things up. I want to mention really fast, unless it was some other word, guys. Nope. You're welcome to join us every Sunday. We do gather online, Compass Church Colorado on Facebook for the live stream at 10 o'clock on Sundays. And we really would love to have you as our guest this Sunday. Join us live. It's always better live to interact with us. Or you can join us in person because this particular Sunday we're doing what we call Church in the Park again, which is just outside of Arkansas Elementary School. And we would love to see you this Sunday. All right, my friends. Final word.
Love you guys. Love all y'all.
Love you.
Peace.
Grace and peace to you. That's all we have for tonight. And we are out.
We are fading to black.
Are you out? I'm out.
So
I'm so out.